One thing that I hate more than almost anything else is cheap, junky, generic little pocket survival kits. And the reason for that is that you just can't depend on them. They have things like these little wire saws that break the first time that you dare try use them. They have credit card survival tools that are really about as useful as 60 grit toilet paper. And then they have other things like button compasses that literally point every direction except north. So today I'm going to show you guys how to put together a real pocket survival kit that you could actually depend on during an emergency. So starting here on the outside, I have a little bit of cash. I have a 1, I got a 20, just to cover, some different needs. You probably want to have a little bit more in here, some different denominations. That way, if you're in a situation where somebody either cannot or will not make change, then you can get what you need without having to be out more money than necessary. Then opening this thing up, and as you can see, this thing is like an elephant shoved into a tube, so I can just try to get as much in here as I could. We have an emergency thermal blanket. These, they're not really my favorite, but they're a whole lot better than nothing, and it also serves as a nice handy-dandy sort of protective barrier between the two sides of gear that I have in this kit. Then I have a signaling whistle, and these are pretty cheap. This is a Fox 40 Classic. They're only a few bucks on Amazon, and they are really honking loud. They're ring your ears kind of loud. Then after that, we have a less expensive Leatherman multi-tool. This is the Wingman, and it's still a decent plier-based multi-tool. I do kind of like that the pliers are spring-loaded. That makes them easier to use sometimes. And like other decent multi-tools, it's going to come with a blade, other things like scissors, screwdrivers, and stuff like that. One thing that this doesn't have that I wish it did, though, is a wood saw. I always enjoy having it, at least even just a small wood saw on multi-tools. A decent alternative to one of these would be a Swiss Army knife, something like a Victorinox Ranger or an Explorer. The Ranger does have a wood saw, and the Victorinox wood saws are actually pretty stinking nice. Then after that, we have some water purification tablets. An issue with smaller kits like these is that you're not going to be able to fit any sort of decent water filter in here at all, but you can put some water purification tablets. They're not necessarily great for removing everything, and they do have a little bit of taste that goes along with them, but they will remove most biological contaminants. And to pair with these, I have this Whirlpack stand-up water bag. And the capacity on this is 1 liter, which is absolutely perfect for use with these tablets. So basically how that works is you fill this with water. You probably do want to pre-filter through something like your t-shirt if there's a lot of sediment or other just junk in the water, just to get out the big chunks. And then you put 2 of the purification tablets in, I think wait 30 minutes, and then put 2 of the neutralizer tablets in, and then you have safe water to drink. And these bags are not going to be nearly as good as something like a steel water bottle that you can boil water directly in, but they're a whole lot better than nothing in a pinch, and you can easily fit 1 or 2 of these in pretty much any kit that you have, so you at least have some options. And y'all, we could make the best pocket survival kit in the world, but really all it's meant to do is sustain us until we can get to the rest of our preps. And if you're serious about having everything that you need, then be sure to download my Ultimate Stockpile Checklist. It's free for anybody who signs up for my newsletter. Then after that, we have a small compass. Now, the thing with button compasses is that most of them are absolute crap. One, though, that I do recommend is the Suunto Clipper. I actually couldn't find it for this video. I either lost it or my child decided that it was cool and he wants to run around and play with it. I don't know. This is one that I got with a Victorinox Swiss Champ SOS kit, which was basically a Swiss Army knife that came with a survival kit. This is actually a very, very good compass, but I don't think you could get it anymore, so go ahead and try to find the Suunto Clipper if you want a button compass. Now, as far as fire starting, first off, I have some just Vaseline and cotton ball fire starters, and I've put them inside of these tiny little Ziploc bags just to keep the rest of the kit nice and clean. Then after that, I have a Bic lighter. These should be pretty much everybody's go-to emergency fire starting method just because they're so stinking easy. They're cheap, and really you could probably put a slightly bigger lighter in this kit if you wanted to. And then I also have a Ferro rod, and if you have a Ferro rod and those little Vaseline cotton ball fire starters, you should be able to get a fire started. They're not hard to use at all, and that Leatherman that I showed earlier should be able to strike this. Then after that, I have a small flashlight. This particular one is an Olight i3T EOS, and it's just a very good little pocket flashlight. The first setting isn't all that bright, which is good because you want to save the battery. It's just one AAA, but then after that, you do have a brighter setting. You're not going to want to use that a whole lot just because you're going to drain that battery very quickly, but having a flashlight of some sort is always good to have, even if it's just a backup to your normal EDC flashlight. Then after that, we have some SurvivorCord Paracord. Now, Paracord is just a good general purpose cordage, but SurvivorCord is sort of an upgrade from that. And what's nice about SurvivorCord is that in addition to having your outer sheath and then all of your normal inner strands, it also has some extra strands too. First off, this particular one, it has some thin gauge copper wire that you can use to make snares and do other things with. It also has some monofilament fishing line, so you have at least the first part of a fishing kit in here. If you live near somewhere that has like bodies of water, rivers, creeks, ponds, lakes, then you might want to go ahead and put a fishing hook or two in a kit like this, but this has monofilament fishing line, and it also has waxed jute fire starter. So jute is a natural fiber. They dip it in wax, so that way the jute will burn and then the wax will allow it to burn longer. And I really do like things like SurvivorCord for these smaller kits like this, just because it allows you to get more functionality out of one item. And if you're not working with a whole lot of space, anything that can serve several different functions is always going to be a good thing. Then after that, we have a canvas sail needle kind of wedged down into here. And canvas sail needles, they're very thick, they're very durable. They can go through thicker material, so if you need to repair something like a backpack, maybe denim jeans, then this is going to be able to do that. And if you need to, you can just take out one of your little smaller strands from inside of this paracord and then use that as thread with this canvas sail needle. You don't have to have like a separate sewing kit or anything like that. Then kind of getting into some more medical related items. First off, we have tweezers. Around here, we have ticks, and I hate those nasty little suckers. They always manage to latch onto the most unpleasant areas possible on me. I know I'm not going to go too deep into that, but having some tweezers will help you take care of those horrid little monsters, and then also other things like splinters, because those do happen and you want to be able to take care of them pretty quickly. And then inside of here, I have some other medical related items, starting with just some basic medications. Like I have some allergy meds. You might want to stick like some Tylenol or ibuprofen in there too. And then probably the most important medication I have in here is Pepto, because during a survival situation, poop happens, both literally and figuratively, and having some Pepto will help you take care of the literal side of things. And the good thing about Pepto, in addition to treating symptoms, it also can help control harmful microbes in your gut. So it's kind of a dual purpose thing. You just don't want to give it to kids because it's chemically similar to aspirin, and that can cause Ray's syndrome. So you don't want to give this to kids. Then after that, we have a couple of different pieces of moleskin, and that would be helpful if you're walking a whole lot, you get blisters on your feet and you want to deal with those. We have some new gauze, which are just basically small gauze pads in case you have a slightly larger wound. Then you can cover those up, keep them nice and clean. Also, to kind of pair with that, we have some isopropyl alcohol-based cleaning wipes. So if you get a wound, use these to clean it off. If it's a bigger wound, cover it up with these. And if it's a smaller wound, then of course, you just have your regular Band-Aids. But since this kit doesn't have tape, if you have a larger wound, then you can use the scissors on that Leatherman to cut off the sticky bits on the just the regular Band-Aids and use that to secure these larger these larger bandages if you need to, or just, use the whole thing if you want to. And then we also have some butterfly bandages in case, you have a longer cut, you want to seal that up. This would be a good choice for those. And then I have a single serve application of triple antibiotic ointment. So you can cut that open, squeeze a little bit out, and that way that'll help reduce the chances of that getting infected. So if you clean it, treat it with that, and then cover it, at least for small things, then you're probably not going to have a whole lot to worry about. Then I also included a couple of safety pins just in case you need to use like a bandana or something like that as a bandage. You can use this to secure it. Now, if you want to see 15 cheap preps that can help you save thousands of dollars if things go bad, then click here. Or if you want to see the most important items for preppers to get this month, just with all the fun, crazy nonsense going on in the world right now, then click here. Thank y'all for stopping by. Y'all have a good one.